Hey everybody, it's Meredith Vaish, creator of Pausebox. Thanks for joining me. Today is a first of a series I'll be doing every month. It's to talk about the energies of the month. As you know, I create altar cards every month and I send them to my subscribers. And this is this month's collection. And I thought it would be really helpful if I came on and talked a little bit about what went into the card, how this energy was speaking to me and through me to help you get intentional and create the life you love with the altar card intention cards. So let's jump in. I've got a lot to share. These cards will be going out in the mail this week, so none of you have seen them yet. So I hope you're excited about what is in store. Just a quick backup. October, as I sat and reflected on the energy of October, really the word transition came to mind. And this is no surprise given all the transition we are in societally, politically. I think it actually creates transition internally, personally, spiritually for us and for others in the world who are paying attention. So this is a huge month of transition, and it shows up in the cards in the following ways. So let me start with this card. It's called Ocean Mist, and Ocean Mist is that in between place, right? So the minute you get that sort of shroud, and I call it a veil, and you're in nature, and there's this spectacular sensory veil. It is a metaphor for being in that in between place, right? So we're no longer where we were, and we have not yet arrived where we're going, and it's that crossing over space. And so that's why this card captures that mist across the rocks, across the ocean. It's a time where you can't force clarity, and it's almost, I say it's like the feeling that what you're looking for is not yet ready to be found or understood. So I know a lot of us are feeling quite liminal these days as we would love clarity, we'd love decision, we'd love action, we'd love um, bold new direction, and we're resting in this liminal space. On the back of this altar card is an opportunity to set an intention, and what this affords you to do is really sink in and reflect on what feeling do you want to feel more of, and that is the intention that you set. So for me, intentions are powerful when they are connected to that emotional energy of feeling, because that is absolutely the creative drive of the universe, is the feeling as human beings. And so this one, this, I don't know if you can see this, but this is an image of moss. And it felt so appropriate because moss is this microcosm, right? You can just imagine little worlds going on inside moss. It's also one of the most ancient plant forms. It was one of the first to evolve on land as a plant form. So it feels very archaic and like ancestry. So that's the feeling of this card, and that's the feeling of this energy. That's one of the cards. So is there anything else I want to tell you? I think the guidance with this liminal space is to, because you can't really act, or now is not the time for quick action, it is a time where you can notice what can you be letting go of. And it's almost like when you're transitioning between houses, the new house is not going to have the same dimensions as the old, and so you're going to need to let go of some belongings that had been familiar or you had kept for maybe longer than you needed to. So it's not yet the time to jettison those new things, but to really notice that, hey, when I do make it across into my next space, what will I be taking with me? So that's a reflection you can use with this card. The second card is a chirpier card. It's I call it my blazing aspen, and I come from Salt Lake City, Utah, and this is such a familiar scene for us in the Rocky Mountains. These spectacular displays of nature and of aspen groves. And when I studied the history of the aspen, I realized that it's actually all one organism. And I never knew that. I just thought they were just billions of white trunk trees. But actually, they're all clones of each other. They're all rooted in and connected in one enormous interconnected root system. And so I thought not only did the colors feel really powerful with this high contrast of the warmth and energy of orange and the soothing calm of blue, but this notion of aspens and being hugely interconnected. And that felt like an important message this month, because I know that we are all, no matter how we appear as our single selves, we are all deeply connected. Gladly not clones. That's where the metaphor ends. The other thing, so I used to have aspens in my front yard as a kid, and I remember seeing their shaking, quaking, silvery rustling, and I could just get mesmerized by their beauty, and their the sound was so soothing. And in fact, when I researched aspens, I learned that the Native American community would often say that the quaking of the aspen is the whispering from the gods. So the question that in reflection that this card asks you to consider is, what area of your life can you listen for those whispers from your soul? And or how can you reconnect to that one community, that one deep connected energy of that root system? So somewhere in your life, is there a community that you can connect into? And on the back of this, you can again use this as a place to put that feeling that you really are nurturing this month. It could be a feeling of that is specific to an aspen and to fall and to connection and interconnection. It could be taking an inspiration from maybe a feeling word that you already use. A lot of people use joy and trust. You could use that and say, okay, what aspect of joy does this energy help me become this month, right? So maybe it's just being aware of, the physical beauty that's around you. Maybe it's the joy of laughter, like quaking leaves. So wherever this takes you, that's exactly what is meant to be with this card. Now the final card, I will warn you, is was a real switch for me, and I was surprised when it kind of called to me, because it is not my standard beauty shot, and but the power was so undeniable that I couldn't just put it aside. And I think that is the lesson of October. And here it is. It's like my Halloween surprise. So this image is a dark image. It's I call it the deep feminine. Again, we are misted, we are shrouded. And what's so spectacular about this image is that these are trees that have created this, what I see as a portal. And to me, this is a deeply feminine energy. This is a passage. This is almost a pre-birth energy. This is that deeply potent, powerful, receptive being energy. And for me, this asks us to look into where in our shadow we may have disconnected or lost pieces of ourselves. And this, to me, is an invitation to reintegrate those pieces for the journey ahead. On the back of this, there's really powerful words. And these are all words that, as I was meditating, came to me as real images and words of this season. So if you are shopping for a new feeling, a new intention, this is the card that you would come to see, how does this resonate? Is there a way that this can teach me, instruct me? And for me, reveal was a really powerful word, because it was, it wasn't my usual hustle and force and figure out or fix. Reveal is really a very deeply feminine, receptive, almost like when you use a macro lens, when you really zoom out and you can't see one point, but you can sense the whole picture. Reveal to me is that word, and I feel like that is an incredibly potent word for this month. So, so that is, I think that's all I want to say about my last card. Let me just check my notes. Yeah. This deep feminine, I've done some experimenting with her for some time, and there's one stone that I use. It's called a labradorite, and it's dark, 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 and but it has this intense flash of light inside it, and it reminds me of pre-birth, pre-action, pre-knowing, right? It's like, I think of it as soil. I think of it as the most nutrient-dense place to plant a seed, but we're not quite ready to plant yet. We're still in that turning of the soil, and that's what I feel that we're doing this month. So I hope that that explanation of these cards helps you really dig into what's up for you this month as you set your goals with soul, your intentions, those feelings that you want to feel more of in service to the life that you're building and creating for yourself and for others. This can all be done without the cards, of course, and you can just use this conversation to really connect to what energy is available to you this month. Where can you tune in? Where can you listen? Where can you receive instruction from your own inner guidance about what is most powerful for you right now? So that is my wish for you as you listen to this series around altar card energies, and I'll make sure that I leave a link to the Shopify store if you're interested in purchasing the cards. They are available as a subscription, and they come with a fun little altar bag full of rituals and supplies to help you establish that devotional space to really tune in and take care of your own kind of inner creator. So that's it. Thanks for now. Please leave any questions. I'd love to hear feedback on how this works for you, and happy to experiment with other ways of delivering the content. So appreciate your time. Talk to you soon.